Hi everyone, welcome to my vlog. Hari ini saya ada di Warung Abnormal 2 di Jalan Borobudur, Malang. Kegiatan hari ini saya kebetulan diundang jadi salah satu guest speaker untuk focus discussion group yang diadain sama AIESEC Brawijaya. Nanti kita bakal ketemu dengan beberapa international student yang kebetulan mereka sedang ada internship di Indonesia, mendampingi beberapa small medium enterprises, jadi kayak UKM yang ada di Indonesia, especially in Malang, under the AIESEC Brawijaya. So let's see what I'm going to work on. Nanti kita bakal kasih tunjuk juga ngapain aja kita di focus discussion group hari ini. So stay tuned on my vlog. If you're new, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel.
Yeah, we think it's that the Instagram account is pretty good and is at least okay. Yeah, and it's he has also pictures where the shoes.
True.
Yeah.
So when we talk about this, it's like they need to have a certain focus on their business.
Yes.
Where in like 5 years they want this brand to be, for example, or like in general we can talk about the scaling up of the business. Sometimes people are being so confused. How can they scale up their capacity in a business? And it can be a problem when we're actually still students. We don't have that much of time. We can actually take like very limited order or something. But then, well, yeah, they need to think about it when they're starting this. Then they're starting up. They cannot starting up like every day.
Yeah.
They need to start scaling up their business.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's true. I think recruiting like people who have more time to take care of it, they can move on to the mechanism to manage the management of the business.
Yes.
So they don't really have to clean it by themselves every day.
Yeah.
Perhaps by doing that, they can actually take like more stuffs. So it starts now with like 3 or 4 shoes a day. Then perhaps when they're recruiting 2 people, then they can double the order. They can take like 10 shoes, perhaps, and
then
that
they
is
can
an
also
increase.
improve more and more on the
Exactly. In the spare
So
space.
he's not like really very interested in expansion of the cafe.
That's even another problem when you're like don't have the passion to grow your business. Exactly.
It's like his second business.
But have you been talking to them? I think
Yeah,
you've been
yeah,
discussing with
many
them,
times.
right?
Yeah, many times.
Like, has there been any, like, improved motivation after
Many,
after that
Opening.
discussion?
I don't think so.
Maybe just like for your information, the owner of this SME usually work at one of the company
Okay.
sa
Mining
tambangan.
Oh, okay.
So right now he's
So
like
big
the
wage already.
Yeah,
Like,
he's already
Yeah.
rich and manager of the.
That's why.
okay. I
I
see.
know.
And that's why it's just becoming this only right to.
Yeah.
But that's another problem.
Yeah,
That's another big problem.
but till the cafes are concerned, maybe 10%, 20% coupons can be given away so that the orders can be repeated, because it's not like once I eat somewhere and I become a fan. It's like once, twice, thrice,
Okay.
then it's like I start craving for that thing.
Yeah.
So
True.
then it becomes like a thing for me. Then whenever I feel hungry, it's like it's very cheap and plus a lot of quantity. So it's like students maybe would love to go there, and
Exactly.
it has the
Because
potential.
that's a
It
lot
has
and
the
it's
taste.
cheap.
Yeah, it has the taste. It has the potential. It's not that cheap. It's like okay, we can get nasi goreng
Like
in that
10,000
much,
or something?
15,000.
Oh, that's
but the
actually
quantity,
quite
the quantity.
expensive. The
The
quantity is a
quantity.
lot.
1.5. And the quantity is like in one plate you can really get full.
Okay.
I cannot eat the full plate. Yeah, so
Wow.
For like a big portion.
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
tasty.
yeah,
It's tasty. Yeah.
So it's quite good.
Yeah,
Taste
it
wise,
has
it's
the
quite good.
potential, but it just needs to be
Market.
To
directed.
be marketed better.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But we also want to make a franchise for it.
No, that's not about
they-
franchise. It's about
No,
his.
I forgot he want to make a food. Like, I don't know that you already talked to the owner, but he already mentioned to me that
Uh-huh.
My SME owner.
Oh, he
He
wanted
wants
to
to
make
make a
that. He
franchise.
wants to have a
Kayak
franchise.
gerobak gitu mas, cuman
Okay. Okay.
Bukan franchise, bukan.
Uh-huh.
That would
Like moving booth?
yeah.
Okay.
In front of the convenience
And the
store.
target is
Oh.
next year they already have like that kind of thing.
Okay. Okay.
We call it in Indonesia like gerobak. I don't know.
The growback, so like the what is that? Like
Only
moving
think
booth.
about- Yeah, because we only visit this at one place. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Yeah. So that can be another problem when you don't even have a passion to grow your business. It's just because you have the spare time, like a spare space, then
And it's
why not
like-
we do something, you know?
This cafe also like opens at 4,
Okay.
so it's like very late.
I think it should get opened at the lunchtime.
12, 1.
Should be,
Yeah.
but they're opening at like
Because
after
he
12.
after 4.
But
After
for,
4?
for information,
The lazy-
Because he's going to work and he returns from work at 4, so.
Oh, I
but
see.
we
I see.
already like open order at 10 EM for Gojek only, not for cafe. Yeah.
Yeah, and that also want to talk about. Like once I tried to order on Gojek,
Mhm.
and
What happened? Like
15,000 is the rate,
exactly.
and there was like more 15,000.
Oh,
So
because of the
the-
delivery cost, perhaps.
So
Yeah.
and once I ordered from Grab, it was like very cheap. So I would tell him to like put on Grab also. Gojek is like very expensive.
Exactly, because like if we put it in Gojek, like Gojek app and Grab app is different. Like
Yeah.
Gojek app asks the the vendors to actually have a commission that is like 20%.
Yeah.
But is
Yeah.
it not like that Gojek has a better reputation than Grab?
It has like a bigger
It
reputation.
has, right?
Like,
So it can get more customers. It's
exactly.
Just
Well,
that.
actually, if we look at the market, they don't actually very care of the price right now
Yes.
because, like what I've told you, people are so lazy. You know, they just want their food a click away. So, well, some people are going to compare, especially students. You know, 15,000 can be another plate of food. Like, why should they order it from
Yes.
Gojek and it's just nothing, right?
And Grab only charges like 5 or 3,000. 3 to
Exactly.
5,000.
behind where the problem is.
Yeah.
But then again, like when you start a business and you're not fully concentrating in it, you also have to factor in like if it's going to move jobs and go somewhere else, meaning you shouldn't expect much from the business because it's not putting direct
Yeah.
input and effort.
Yes.
So that's how I feel. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's true. It's about the the reason. Well, if we want to be big, then we need to be consistent. We need to have the steps to actually grow what we are starting up. But then, well, that's the fact that people are not actually having a very noble reason to start a business sometimes. Just because they have a space, I have a spare time. Well, after work, what else can I do? Then sometimes a business is only a transactional activity. It is not actually a brand.
But I feel
You know.
like
Yeah.
this thing
Okay.
Because less area we visit today is a little small, like the space is narrow, but there's still some space like under not usage.
Okay.
And yeah, so maybe you still need to some correction.
The new SME that I have been visiting these days is Rumat Sakit Kopi.
Rumah Sakit Coffee.
Yeah, just
Oh,
like that.
okay.
So the
coffee
for
shop?
the for the positive part, it's like very cheap and it's in a location where it's near to Brawijaya and the
Okay.
Malang State University. But maybe I've talked about this to now a lot of TNT experts and business experts, but it's like the owner is focusing more on his vision to make it a franchisee, but not
Oh.
on the part where what he is not able to understand what it would take to make it a franchisee. Like
So they have the idea to
Yeah.
have a franchise. Yeah.
because I think a franchisee can only be built by value proposition when
True.
when you can understand the problem of the current world and then give it, it's not like you give a solution that changes the world,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
even a small life hack can make about the raw materials.
Oh, okay,
this
okay,
much.
okay.
Yeah, but yeah, they have variety. Like they have coffees from Sumatra.
That's what
They-
I mean.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
that
yeah.
gets a sentimental touch to the cafe. Yeah. So I was saying that everyone who opens a cafe wants to do something unique with their coffee,
Yes.
and the name itself suggests that it's a coffee hospital. So maybe I think that the thing that like do you know there is something that is common in all the franchises, and that is the best sellers.
Exactly. Yeah.
The best sellers. So now before he does something, he first need to find out, does do the survey and the feedback form, like name, age, so that he knows the segment of their
Yeah.
customers plus the favorite product, so he knows which product people are more
They need
interested
to know
into.
the demography of their market,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. So the raw material orders can also be limited, because
True,
it's like profits are not just generated from selling more and more. It can
Okay.
also be generated from many different places, like reducing the wastage in raw materials, because
Yeah.
in cafes there is a lot of wastage. Plus on the peak hours, like on Saturdays and on Sundays, maybe they can try their new and unique coffees or unique products. Maybe
Okay.
add more and more food products to the
Exactly,
menu.
exactly.
Because if I go somewhere, it's not only about the coffee. Even I want to eat something.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it's like that. Maybe improve the environment of the cafe, because it's like beggars come in there. People like
No, really?
Yeah, unnecessary rush. There's unnecessary rush. I don't know how he's going to pull the franchisee thing off, but he's like he.
Are they thinking about the setting, like the atmosphere?
The atmosphere is not that bad if you go at 10 in the morning. It's amazing.
Oh, okay.
But if you go in the peak hours,
it is when they're starting to
Yeah.
open, or
Yeah, no, it's a 24-hour segment
Oh,
cafe. Yeah,
okay.
but if you go in the night during the prime hours, during the peak hours, it's like you cannot even listen. If from distance you cannot listen to
it's
me.
just too crowded.
Yeah, and if I go to a cafe, it's like I'm going there to chill. I'm not going there to shout whatever I want to say. It's ridiculous, the environment.
I think perhaps it is because they don't know their brand positioning.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to Starbucks, for example, not every Starbucks is silent. But in certain places, Starbucks are just silent. People are like going to library. Just because people know when it is in a more expensive setting, then we should not be, like too crowded, we're shouting or anything.
It's like it's cheap. That's why people
why.
come in there so much,
Exactly,
and it's a 24-hour
exactly,
cafe.
exactly.
So it's like I've seen people ordering one drink and sitting there for longer durations, but it's okay, because as Rainer also put this point yesterday, that there can be two perspectives to this.
Yeah.
Might be they're ordering something and sitting there for long hours, or it may be that they are sitting there and waiting for their order. Just go for
That's right.
it.
That's right. Yeah, I think it's true. It's gonna be easier when we have partners, when the business starts to develop. Especially when somebody or an entrepreneur is considering to open like new branches. Well, we need to have partners and at least people who can manage the like bigger focus, so that like they don't really have to leave out where he was starting up, but at the same time they can actually develop in another branches.
It's like after some point they just lose interest in their work, because it's
Okay.
like first of
It's just
in-
too
in
much
the starting,
pressure.
in the starting it's like we need to earn. Come on, let's
Yeah.
start a cafe, 5 of us. But then
What was their response when you're discussing these alternatives and solutions to them?
his response is "Terima kasih."
Okay.
Yeah. So I
Thank
don't
you.
know. Yeah.
Thank you. Next.
I don't know if he's implementing any of it, because it's like there should be something like he has so many amenities, like free parking, such a long free parking. Just
Okay.
needs to focus on the hygiene, the quality, value
Okay,
proposition,
okay,
time.
okay.
Some more employees. It's a step by process.
Yes.
I've
Yes,
talked about
yes,
all the
yes,
steps.
Yes.
Just needs to focus on
Exactly.
it, and maybe just
Yeah.
he should help it with his bank balance now.
Yeah, because he
Yeah.
already told us that he wants to focus on the business model first, right? So
Okay,
he still
yeah.
needs to know what the segment market the company is taking.
So the business model is not yet, established.
This is another thing that he is going theoretically. Like he is good maybe in knowing about business stuff.
Okay.
But I think that business is a trial and error based thing.
Okay.
And especially a cafe, maybe as I said, on the peak hours, try new products, try to use names that are unique, maybe an ordinary coffee that tastes well, something like that, something that people crave for. It should be like that, because he right now is going on the theoretical part. That
Okay.
I want to make it a franchisee. Might be possible that he has read it somewhere.
My point is
Yeah.
like, do you think that right now they are having too much pressure? You know
At the
why?
peak hours.
I think in my assumption is like, first of all, their business model is not yet established. They're still confused, on how they can actually maintain this business to be a bigger brand. They also have the focus like, oh, I want to open a new brand. So it's like they have like several focus on several different things. But then they have the pressure because the crowd is here. And sometimes they may start by alleviating that pressure. I'm not saying like, okay, so we need to have less people coming. Well, not in that way, but perhaps we need to put a strategy where the market will be like a wiser market, a more mature market. Now, for example, this can be a problem when you have like a free parking space, because you don't know, like 50 people coming every day in a peak hour just because they have a free parking space. Then they're also selling like cheap stuffs. Then you can have like 100 people coming. Then you have that 100 of people coming every day. Then this pressure is not actually stable, but it's actually increasing day by day. While at the same time, their focus, their business model is not yet established. Then they won't have that energy to actually, okay, I need to sit down, I need to talk to somebody, like what I want to do, because they're being confused by the situation. And so I don't say like, oh, so we need to sell like more expensive things or no. No, what they can do is like to see on several points like what makes the problem worse. Well, a simple thing, they immediately charge something for the parking. So people are more, what I say, like more coordinated. People are not just going to be there for just 20 minutes or 15 minutes, but they're gonna be like taking a consideration when they really want to go there. By doing that, I mean like a coordinated market like that will be, an opportunity for the business to sit down and think what they can do next. Yeah.
I talked about this with the cafe. The
Okay.
exact thing.
So you started by saying that they need to have a more established business model. Then they also have to find a solution towards like simple problems that they have, so that the pressure can actually be decreased, so that then they can have a better focus on how to grow this business. Yeah.
And maybe shift to a little bit of practicality.
True.
He's working on the theory. Now the time for theory has gone. You have already did the startup. Now it's that you walk in the practicality. Read
Face
about
the
practical
reality,
stuff.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do the trial and error based thing. What will happen? Your product will not
It's
work.
about taking risks in business.
Yeah.
Sometimes people don't want to move to that situation because it's too risky. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about the other. Thank you for that. That's a very good insight coming from Martin. Yeah. You should be that passionate, helping the business to grow. We're saving people's lives.
Indians support each other.
The Bollywood actress
Yes.
has said.
Yes.
And then we can
Okay, yeah.
maybe Chris.
Chris?
Because
Display space because we have a picture lot. It's actually what Patton mentioned.
Are you in the
because-
same SME with different with Stacy? Yeah.
Because like their clothes, they're displayed like this way, but it's actually not very like clear to see what
Okay,
kind of
okay.
clothing.
But there's like a boutique or something, or a beauty
You mean
salon,
that
or
shop? It's actually like souvenir shop.
oh, souvenir
Yeah,
shop.
so they have some like for Indonesia things, but they also have some like ceremony porcelain stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and for
Costumes.
Like, yeah, for
yeah.
housewife or for
Okay,
like local people. And yeah. And
How is the business situation? Is it very lucrative already? Like they have
I think
repeat customers, or
what
they're still
facing
struggling?
now is like they want more customers.
They need more customers.
And
What is this?
I think and they want some marketing strategies or also some.
What have they been doing, like digitally? Do they have like social
have
media
Instagram,
or anything?
yeah.
Oh, let me see.
And let me see. We just checked that
Oh.
because the photo is kind of like a little less exquisite, you know, like it's not
Okay.
very attractive.
It's just
Yeah, and-
it's just videos and photos being uploaded.
Yeah. And although like the content, they have also so many hashtags.
Okay.
And, yeah,
but it doesn't work. It turns out it doesn't work, right?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
like they have like they have 10 like,
Yeah.
but they have like 2,000 followers. So maybe it's like even though they have so many followers, you
Yeah,
check the
yeah,
Instagram,
yeah,
but you
yeah.
didn't just skip it.
Exactly. So this is an example of an effective use of digital promotion because they're just uploading things.
Yeah.
Well, it's very vital because they're selling souvenirs.
Yeah, but
souvenirs
like,
should be
the owners, they're
attractive.
just housewives, so.
Oh, this is what you're talking about.
This is also my SME.
Yeah. Oh, the one you told me before, right?
Yeah.
No, the one that I was talking about was Ruma Sakit copy and this.
No,
is
I mean
yeah.
in the previous meeting,
Yeah.
you told me about the souvenirs
And
Yeah.
it's
shop,
like,
right?
the funny part is that it is a 5-star SME on Google. Yeah.
The review that can be created. Okay. Well, perhaps some people find like, well, why do I need an Instagram? I don't even need that. I have my presence digitally. When people search for a souvenir, my shop is there, but then they have this and they're actually, like putting some effort in making hashtags, for example. Well, what you need to remind them is like, well, you've done this. You have this platform. I mean, do something more effectively so that you're not wasting time on this platform, and that is important, right? Because we should not be doing nonsense, right? In doing a promotion or something. Yeah. They're making like many orders, I think. Say see you. Say subscribe to me.
Subscribe to
Ayrton.
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 Subscribe and give thumbs
Thank you.